A quick disclaimer before we begin. This video is not made to support or take part in the use of foul language. It is merely meant to show points in the series when it did happen. And now, on with the video. Welcome back everyone. In my last video I asked you guys if you knew any points in Thomas and Friends that featured swearing, and boy did you guys deliver. This video is meant to follow up on my part 1, and is my way of saying thanks for 1,000 subscribers. Since you guys helped me reach this milestone, I find it only fair I give you something back in return. I was really surprised by some of these mentions, while others I had just forgotten to put in the video. But let's not waste any more time, and get right into it. First off, we've got Stepney the Bluebell engine. In Stepney's special, everyone's favorite terrier describes the many engines he worked with on the Bluebell Railway, the fifth one being Captain Baxter.
Captain Baxter's tough too, and rather rude. But he's worked in a quarry, and you know what that does to an engine's language and manners. I do indeed, said Edward gravely.
I suppose quarries and factories are very similar work environments for the engines, given how Baxter and Duncan turned out. Speaking of quarries, that's a great segue into Mavis. Some people have pointed out in her debut book, Mavis says fudge in response to Toby's complaints.
Trucks, he grumbled, should be where you want them, when you want them. Fudge!
I don't know if this is considered profanity in the UK, but it's not in the US. Although it was changed to fiddlesticks in the TV adaptation, probably because it could be misheard as the F-bomb. Also, these folks point out the scene from both versions of the end of the story.
An angry farmer was telling Mavis just what she could do with her train.
This could be the farmer telling Mavis to screw off with much more colorful words. Some other times similar writing was used are Not the Ticket from Thomas and the Great Railway Show.
When the lorry driver came back, Thomas heard him say something, then slam the cab door crossly.
And Old Stuck Up from James and the Diesel Engines.
I say, Boko, what is it the Fat Controller calls you? Versatile, chuckled Boko, but that isn't what he called Stuck Up. I couldn't hear all he said, but I didn't think it sounded very polite.
I actually can't believe I missed this one in my original video, as I used the book for reference in my Two-Faced Engines video. And also this is the only Chris Awdry book I have, so yeah. Way to go, me. Multiple people told me in a DVD about Awdry's layout operations, Percy was meant to have sworn a storm up to Mavis about her shunting. I unfortunately have no way to back this up, as I lack the DVD, so I'll take you guys' word for it. Some people also think that Thomas calling Percy a drip might count, but I think it's only an insult, not a cuss. Speaking of, some people think that phrases like stupid or shut up count as well, but I think these are just rude terms. Granted, my parents always said I shouldn't say them. Anyone else notice how these were most commonly used in Season 5?
It was the stupid car's fault, not mine. Stupid lorry was reversing and fell straight into the sea. Stupid bird.
And to cap out the Railway series, we have the time Awdry himself used a bad word in writing. This is something I never would have dreamed of, but it's real. In Henry's Spotlight book, specifically Henry Sneeze, Awdry uses the N-word to describe the boys' appearance when they were covered in ash. But due to backlash, this was later changed to the boys running away black as soot.
But I'm not done yet!
We now look at the actual show, starting with possibly censored moments. This person points out the moment in James Goes Buzz Buzz.
We'll just have to go back to the orchard and fetch another hive. James's reply was drowned by the sound of buzzing.
And T1E2H3 points out the moment when the ship's horn honks in the world's strongest engine, possibly being a censor.
Help!
This person also points out Duncan the Humbug, where Buffer could replace a swear word.
For Buffer's sake, Luke, what's the holdup?
Something else I want to mention is that seasons 1 through 4 of the US dub were narrated by George Carlin. He's best known for his stand-up comedy and Dirty Mouth. Yet he took the role of narrator and Mr. Conductor to present himself as something else as well.
It was a good story, good character, quality production, public television, no commercial consideration, and a chance to show another part of myself in the acting arena.
Yet he used the title of Mr. Conductor on stage. So does this make Mr. Conductor having a dirty mouth canon as well?
Yes, he is. He's going to attack children. And remember, this is Mr. Conductor talking. I know what I'm talking about.
But now we have the times the show itself used language. This is most common in non-English dubs of the show, and I understand it's not considered swearing in those languages. In fact, some people who do speak English don't even know it's a bad word. Now, I won't be using the word as a swear, but instead show you a water dam. Instances of it being used include the Latin American dub of Bulgy, where Oliver says,
"Miren!" gritó Oliver. "Miren a Bulgy! Es un maldito impostor colorado."
Which translate to, "Look at Bulgy, he's a red imposter." There's also Thomas and the Breakdown Train. Taylor Kennedy has actually provided subtitles, so we'll use that for this example.
Esos malditos furgones y sus bromas. Espero que el pobre James no se haya lastimado.
And I think that's everything. If your comment of a point when I swear was missed, I do apologize. I wasn't sure how to use all the comments in the video, but I just want to take a moment and thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot. Also, you probably noticed how I'm using this new character, trying him out to see if he works in scenes when I don't have footage to show for what I'm saying. Please tell me what you think about this change in the comments. To cap off the video, I want to show 2 comments that I particularly liked.
I like to imagine that Tenjins don't really know what human swear words mean.
Yeah, I can totally agree with this. Maybe it's like kids when they hear a bad word and don't know what it means.
I would imagine that Scarloa and Renis also refuse to swear, and that Peter Sam is more or less incapable of swearing.
Yeah, Peter Sam's probably the last engine who I would see using words like that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one and stay really useful.